Hi, I'm Jessica.
I'm Honor.
I'm Haven.
And this is Hayes. Welcome to our home.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be counting down the top 10 Jessica Alba movies of all time. Now, Jessica Alba has been a staple in Hollywood for years, and she's been in some pretty amazing films. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off our list at number 10 is Honey. In 2003's Honey, Alba plays the titular Honey, an aspiring choreographer who teaches a hip-hop class at the community center her mother runs. Honey's goals are noble. She hopes to help keep the children in her neighborhood off the streets through dance by opening her own studio. When fame and fortune inevitably come calling, will Honey be able to resist the big leagues and stay true to herself? Looking back as an adult, it's easy to write off Honey for being cheesy, derivative, and unoriginal. And yes, these are valid criticisms. But for many young kids growing up in the early 2000s, Honey was their first introduction, a classic Hollywood formula.
Hip-hop can't take you the places ballet can.
What about what I want, Ma?
Coming in at number 9 is Fantastic Four. Was this a good movie? No. Was this a good superhero movie? Still no. Do we love it anyway? Yes. Just a few short years before the MCU began, Fantastic Four was released to theaters amid the success of other high-performing superhero films like X-Men and Spider-Man. The film tells the origin story of the four superheroes and the villain Dr. Doom after a cosmic storm cloud gives them strange abilities. Fantastic Four represents a simpler time for superhero blockbusters where a film was more contained to a single story rather than setting up an overarching narrative. While not perfect, Evans and Alba's portrayal of Johnny and Sue Storm are highlights.
You don't want to walk around on fire for the rest of your life, do you?
Is that a trick question?
Moving on to number 8, we have Idle Hands. Idle Hands is a 1999 dark comedy film about a teenager who realizes his right hand has become possessed after he accidentally kills both his parents and his best friends. Alba plays the teenager's unwitting girlfriend Molly, who must avoid being killed by the possessed hand in a series of unfortunate and hilarious encounters. This film also features performances from Daredevil's Eldon Henson and Kill Bill's Vivica A. Fox, and while it may not have made a splash at the box office or with critics, it left a lasting impression with users on IMDb.
I should not be here, Molly.
Safer in here than on the streets. Don't you know there's a killer out there?
Moving on to number 7, we have The Killer Inside Me. Alba stars in this 2010 erotic crime thriller alongside Academy Award winner Casey Affleck and Academy Award nominee Kate Hudson, so it should come as no great surprise that it's one of her best films. Alba plays a prostitute named Joyce Lakeland who enters into a sadomasochistic affair with her town's sociopathic sheriff. The film received mixed reviews. It was also controversial for its subject matter, which some critics seemed to find too violent for the screen.
Let me hear you say it. Go on. Tell me what a fine old family y'all boards is.
At number 6, we have Meet Bill. This 2007 comedy film stars Aaron Eckhart as an average Joe who becomes the reluctant mentor to a teenager. It also features performances from Logan Lerman, Elizabeth Banks, Timothy Olyphant, and of course Jessica Alba. Though it boasts only a 21% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, users on IMDb disagree and think Meet Bill is one of Alba's best films. Alba plays Lucy, a lingerie saleswoman who becomes embroiled in Bill's relationship with his wife when the teenager Bill's mentoring decides to use her in a scheme to make Bill's wife jealous.
Come on, you have a great ass.
What?
Nothing. I was just thinking how, great your body is.
Moving on to number 5, we have Mish. In the 2010 film Mish, directed by Robert Rodriguez and starring Danny Trejo, Alba plays Santana Rivera, an immigration officer who is committed to upholding the law but doubts herself as the law proves to be unjust. Mish had been a planned project for over a decade, as its director aimed to make an action movie with a distinct Latin flavor, and the exploitation action style film is just as big on style as it is violence. The film's protagonist uncovers corruption after he is betrayed by his employer when he fails to assassinate corrupt Texas Senator John McLaughlin, who is campaigning on the promise of deporting millions of illegal Mexican immigrants.
I can get you papers, but you gotta let me bring you in.
Moving on to number 4, we have Into the Blue. Alba stars alongside the late Paul Walker in the 2005 film thriller Into the Blue as one half of an ocean-loving couple who end up with a lot more than they bargained for when they uncover a lost treasure on the ocean floor. While Alba's Sam is content with their simple life in a beachside trailer, Walker's Jared is itching for adventure and has always hoped to discover some long-lost pirate bounty, and when his friend Bryce reappears in his life, the group finally stumbles upon just that. Things are never as easy as they seem. This is especially true in movies like this one, and the group end up entangled with criminals trying to reclaim the treasure.
All right.
I don't do drugs.
Uh-huh.
I hate drugs.
Sure.
But throwing this away, I don't know. Maybe I object.
Coming in at number 3, we have Stretch. The 2014 film Stretch follows Patrick Wilson as down on his luck limo driver Kevin Stretch Berzizowski, who can't seem to get anything right. After his girlfriend dumps him, Kevin, a failed actor, struggles to break free of his vices, including a $6,000 gambling debt owed to a man named Ignacio. One day, Ignacio demands a Stretch pay up by midnight or else Stretch will lose his life. With the help of the sympathetic limousine company receptionist Charlie, Stretch winds up doing the bidding of millionaire Roger Karras in the hopes of earning a large tip, but his order becomes more illegal and surreal as the night goes on. Add in some unexpected celeb cameos and the ghost of a successful limo driver, and you get the wonderfully chaotic Stretch.
This is coming from the guy who doesn't even want to acknowledge that shit actually happens for a reason.
Now prepare for number 2, Awake. Awake is a suspenseful thriller with a very low score on Rotten Tomatoes, but don't let that stop you from watching, especially if you love a good conspiracy film. Fresh off 2005's Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Hayden Christensen stars as a young billionaire named Clay who elopes with his mother Lilith's personal assistant, the young and beautiful Sam Lockwood, shortly before he undergoes a dangerous heart transplant. When put under anesthesia, Clay realizes he is still aware of everything happening, and that's all you need to know before watching this film.
As you get out of here, we're gonna start from scratch. Get a little house on the beach.
And finally, the moment we've been all waiting for, our number 1 is none other than Sensity. Sensity is a film that people tend to love or hate, but no matter what, it certainly gets people talking. Robert Rodriguez adapts a few storylines from the comics written by Frank Miller, and his ridiculously faithful adaptation leads to one of the most satisfying stylistic films ever made. As it's more of a collection of stories rather than an overarching plot, Sin City is frequently criticized for prioritizing style over substance, and whether that works for you depends on your own artistic priorities. There's a huge ensemble cast here with names like Bruce Willis, Alexis Bledel, Josh Hartnett, and Brittany Murphy, but Alba's role as the sensitive, hardworking stripper Nancy Callahan is a highlight.
Maybe I should drive.
Not a chance. Nobody but me can keep this heap running.
So there you have it, our top 10 Jessica Alba movies of all time. Let us know in the comments which of these films is your favorite. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.